what's up, everybody? This is Dan French. This is Wealthytainment. We got a great one for you today that we're going to unpack. We're going to talk about Mike Tyson, and we're also going to talk about Jake Paul and their fight coming up, and what we think this is all about. Is this really just an exhibition fight, or is this really going to be a fight? You know, Netflix is involved, $300 million that they think is going to get paid out. And it's interesting because we want to see, or I want to see how much each boxer is going to make. They were saying $50 to $100 million for each boxer. And so when you look at Netflix, you look at AT&T, Texas, for me, I don't think that Jake Paul has even fought anybody that's an A-level boxer. Mostly it's been C-level boxers. Most of them have been UFC fighters. And when you look at it, when he fought a B-level fighter, he actually lost by decision. So Mike Tyson at age 57, is he really an A-level, or is he still at the same level he was at? We'll find out. I just think this is more of an exhibition fight. And I also think that this is all just a money grab. And so when you think about it, where are we headed? I think this is no different than wrestling. I know there's a lot of adults out there that like wrestling. This is going to be somebody that's going to tune into this type of Netflix fight. Mike Tyson's the draw. He's the name. But let's bring in Chris. What do you think, man? How you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing well, brother. It's always a pleasure. Always for you and I to connect and be able to talk about these topics, bounce off our perspectives. It's always a pleasure, brother.
Yeah, man. So let's talk a little bit about Dana White came out and stated that, he gave his opinion on this fight. So I'm going to bring in Dana White here, listen to what he has to say. And like I said, we'll unpack it, give our opinion, and then ultimately end this.
Earlier this week, Mike Tyson has been announced a return to boxing. I know in the past you said you didn't want him to fight again. You tried to talk him out of fighting again. Have you spoken to him about this one?
He gets mad when I do this, but Mike's 60, man. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Who gives a shit what I think? It's not my fight. I love Mike Tyson, personally as a friend, and he's one of my favorite athletes of all time. I don't know. Let's see what he can go in there and put together a training camp and come in and I don't like to see guys fighting it. A 31-year age difference during that fight. Just you guys know what I think of that stuff.
That said, it is on Netflix, which is a new development, right? Them getting into live sports. Obviously, you have a TV deal coming up soon.
I think that Netflix should have gotten into live sports years ago. I think they're late to the game, but they are a force. They're a force, man. And when you look at the amount of homes that they're in worldwide, you guys heard me talk about this show, Reacher? I posted about it. I love that show. I hate fucking TV. I don't watch any TV shows, hardly ever. Don't watch movies anymore. But I love the show Reacher, right? I can watch Reacher whenever I want to. I can watch it when I get home. I can watch it next week. Right? Live sports like this event tonight, you had to watch tonight. As all these massive streaming companies start to get bigger and bigger, they have to be involved in live sports.
Safe to say you'll be talking to them when your TV deal comes up?
I'm sure we'll be talking to everybody.
So you can see what Dana White had to say about this. And, I agree with him. There's a 31-year age gap. I think Mike Tyson's going to wear down. When you talk about 31 years of wear and tear on somebody's body, it's just not going to stay and sustain itself as other, say younger boxers. When you look at the age of 27 for Jake Paul, if he fought anybody close, in my opinion, anybody close to his age, 5-year difference, even 7-year difference higher than him. Let's say he's 35, 36-year-old fighter. That's an A-level fighter. He's going to lose. This is no different than the Mayweather fight, in my opinion, than McGregor. I think they came out. They just wanted to collect money and get a money grab off that. So, Chris, what do you think Dana had to say? What is your opinion on this?
I don't think the age matters at all. I mean, it's Mike Tyson. He's 57, 60 years old. Doesn't matter. 65. Mike Tyson is active in the gym. He's in impeccable shape for his age. He still has boxing muscle memory. And, when you say that he hasn't fought anybody, well, a fight has to have an agreement. And so we can't fault Jake Paul that he hasn't fought anybody because the fight has to be accepted from the other party. So no other heavyweight champion or current doesn't have to be a champion. No other current heavyweight boxer that does it as a profession is going to fight him because they think it's a joke and they don't want to I guess, entertain that 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 environment. However, if you are, let's just say you're not a heavyweight champion, and let's just say Anthony Joshua, who just who's currently a heavyweight champion boxer, and he said, "Okay, I'll fight Jake Paul," and Anthony Joshua is going to make $200 million, and he didn't do it. He'd be an idiot.
No, he'd be an idiot, but the only draw on this is Mike Tyson. And I'm going to say something about Jake Paul that would really kind of, obviously he's doing a lot better financially than a lot of people because of YouTube and some of the brand that he's built. But he's just like an big immature kid to me. And when you have a lot of people following him to see what his antics are, to do, like, find out what he's going to do next, he's an attention grabber. That's all he is. He's somebody that maybe he's figured out something that's a niche for him, or his business, whatever, or his brand. I just feel that he's looking for attention constantly. He wants to build his name. He's going to be making a lot more money, or just a lot bigger brand off of this fight than Mike Tyson is. Mike Tyson's just there for the money. I wouldn't be surprised if that 100 million, let's say it's a 200 million, payout, or 150 million payout, whatever it is, even 100 million, that Mike Tyson's going to take the lion's share of that. I just think that when you look at Jake Paul, he's just like a big, I hate to say, he's just a very big, he's not an adult to me. It's almost like he's immature, very immature person. What do you think about him?
Well, it just goes to show you that most people, if you can create a circus, and if you can create attention around that circus, you're going to get eyeballs, and you can reap the benefits of that. That's a prime example of, the power of marketing and the power of what you can do with a great ad campaign. It's going to be at AT&T Center. It's going to be on Netflix, and these guys are going to make a lot of money. Jake Paul, I'm not too, I guess, outside of boxing and outside being a YouTuber, I don't know anything else about him other than that. But let's just say this: I'm pretty active in social media in terms of I have a pretty good grab on what's out there, and who's doing what.
Right.
And if Jake Paul is, I wouldn't say he comes on my For You page for YouTube, but because I get a lot of my podcasts that I listen from YouTube, I'm familiar with who he is. And so he's got reach, and if anything, there's a lot of marketing campaigns that can learn from what Jake Paul has been able to accomplish from this second stride in his life. Because he probably knew he couldn't be a YouTuber. He probably forecasted that had a certain lifespan on it, or a certain shelf life. And he was like, let me get out of this. And you know what? I always wanted to box. Let me take it serious. Let me hire some trainers and start calling people out and see if I can get some shots. He did that. I don't know what fight this is going to be for him, 9 or 10 fights in. And he's been on pay-per-view, and he's been able to make some pretty good money in terms of these fights. And this is going to be his biggest payday yet. I guess.
What's interesting to me, Chris, is how Americans, or people in general, support it, though. You got a culture that's growing up with a computer in their hand, which is your phones. And I understand it's a new thing, but with somebody like him, like with his antics and things, it's generational. This is why he's building a brand. If you go back, I would say his audience, that people actually watch him or tune into him, one of it may be just to see him fail, because I think a lot of people don't like him. When you put your name out there and it's controversial, and you're like, good or bad, your name's still out there. That's what people really want. It's all about notoriety, branding, putting your name out there. And as long as somebody's talking about you, I think that's his whole objective. But the real following, and the real people that are real boxers, or that follow boxing, they're not watching this. I think it's no different than, like I said, WWE or something going on. Like I said, I don't think any of these fights are real. And I think if the whole objective is to make money, get paid, make sure nobody gets hurt. There's not been one person hurt from any of his fights. Not one person hurt from any of his fights. Nobody had to go to the hospital, nothing. Right? Nobody's been, like, when they got knocked out. I just question a lot of this, because I don't know if somebody's going in there like a real boxing match to tear somebody's head off. So I'm just not a fan of Jake Paul. I'm not going to say and take anything away from him as far as what he's done, but I won't support or follow him, even if it's free, and you gave me a free dinner ticket, you know, or if you gave me a free steak, I probably still wouldn't watch it. You got anything else to say about that?
Holy shit. Okay. All right, man. You made your point.
How about you? You got anything else on this or what? You good?
Nah, brother. This is. I'll say this, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what the numbers actually pull in after the fight.
Yeah.
For our audience, I'm gonna watch it because it's
Yeah.
free. I know now. Let's just say it's on. It happens to be on during a time where I got something going on with family or if I'm at work. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But you know, it's gonna be on Netflix, so that means it's gonna be on repeat. I could watch it another time. So no, I don't have that much disdain for Jake Paul. But that is funny, man.
I just think it's crazy, man. But anyways, if you guys like the channel, please subscribe, like the channel. We'll be back here and we're going to give you our opinion on some more topics, some more things. Chris, you got anything else to say here, man?
No, that's it, brother. It's always a pleasure.
All right, man. We're out of here. You guys subscribe, like the channel. We'll see you at the next one.